Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob and I want to thank you for joining me today. Yesterday we began a transition from our earlier application here where we've been looking at bodily oriented stress management techniques like mindfulness, for example, to what we're moving into next, which is looking at what we might do mentally in addition to bodily, what we might do mentally to aid us in building resilience, reliable resilience in the face of stress. I asked you to examine how your own mind at times actually can make matters worse. Taking maybe let's say an understandably stressful situation, but then turning into something much more severe, which is what we've been calling distress. So moving stress into distress. So I'm curious, what did you discover? For anyone who's listening here today, if you've been to 12-step meetings in the past, you might very well have heard the following phrase. Expectations are premeditated resentments. Expectations are premeditated resentments. Have you heard that? Let's unpack the meaning here for just a moment, because it may give us a very good kind of introductory foundation for understanding the role of how we think about things, how that may affect our moving from stress to distress. So we're going to be looking at how we think about things. Psychology calls this metacognition, thinking about thinking, and how we think about things can lead to distress, such as, for example, in this phrase, can lead to resentments in our day-to-day lives. Remember now, our goal here in applying all of these mind-body tools, what we're looking at is deeper healing. And we've talked about this in terms of being able to protect and ensure our sustained sobriety. This is what's referred to as relapse prevention. That's what we're looking at. So once we've gotten sober, how do we stay sober? So we're looking at mind-body tools to help us to move whenever possible from our brains being in what we've called here the red alert mode, which is highly correlated with stress, highly correlated with stress moving to distress, increased cravings, and those increased cravings themselves leading to eventual relapse. That's the red alert mode. And we're wanting to move from that mode to what we've been calling the resting mode, or the resting brain. And in this mode of being, we're nearly assured of reduced distress. Oftentimes it just stays stressed, doesn't move into distress. Minimized cravings, which is a good thing, because that gives us resilience then in the face of stress, where we're much less likely to relapse. For today, what I'd like you to do is write down what comes first to mind when you reflect on this phrase: expectations are premeditated resentments. How have you found in your own life any possible connection between expectations and hopes that you may have had on the one hand, and then subsequent frustration or resentments on the other, especially when those expectations and hopes weren't met? Let's see what you find. In the meantime, I want to thank you again for spending part of your day with me here at the Vitality Project. Thanks so much for joining me. Please stay safe, be well, and come back and visit me again soon.